diligence each and every day to get on the airwaves and give you the information that we feel is valuable. And water cooler discussion, stuff that's happening right now in our nation's capital with Jeff Sessions. He's right now to face Uranium One, Clinton Foundation, recusal questions on the Hill. And we got a report talking about that very thing. I right now would like to mention, folks, our For the People coffee mug that we had commissioned probably 3.5, 4 weeks ago. Some of you have bought your coffee mugs and have written me and have told me how wonderful the cups are. And I would like some of you that have not written in to actually send me an email or a Facebook to let other people know, because that'll kind of get the ball rolling here. Because you hear the commercial, but then hearing others with testimonies, I'd like to hear some of those and read some of those on the email on the actual radio show, because this is how we actually stay on the air. Primarily, folks, if we sell a few products here and there, we're doing a deal with MyPillow and Mike Lindell. We're waiting for a promo code, and you'll see something on our website in that regard. But I don't receive a check. No paycheck. We're on stations across the country, but we do this because we love America, and we're concerned about America and that you're not getting the real news. There's a lot of bad news out there, a lot of fake news, and you don't get a perspective from a conservative point of view. There's just so much liberal spin, unfortunately, in the media, where people's heads are spinning and they really don't know what to believe. And so I find myself frequently trying to, get out there and correct people. But the best way that I know to do that is to take to the airways each and every day. And that's the best place. And I'm able to do that. But just the simple gesture of buying one of our coffee cups or signing up to become a For the People supporter will make that difference. So if you haven't bought the cup, buy one today. It's only $19.95, $3 shipping and handling. We'll send it right to your house, your place of business, wherever you want it sent to. Within 2-3 days after order. It's made custom for you, and they're beautiful. They're 11 ounces, and it has the red, white, and blue For the People logo on it. If you don't know what that looks like, it's red, white, and blue. It's a flag, and it says For the People on it, and then Keith Allen underneath it, and it's very classy, and it's in high definition. But when you get it, you'll be very, very proud, and you'll be supporting this radio show that has values, that you know that it's conservative. You're never going to have to blush, when you have your kids possibly in the car or when you're listening to a podcast, maybe later on when you missed it on the radio station. But it's rare and far in between to find good quality shows these days, unfortunately. But it's a sign of the times, folks. I mean, look at all the garbage that's going on in Hollywood. It's a sewer, and what happens to sewage when it starts rising? It starts overflowing into the city streets and into our towns, and that's what we see right now that's taking place. Now, with Jeffrey Sessions, with the Uranium One deal that's going on, I tell you, it's a place where I think Jeff Sessions needs to have a committee investigate all of these particular things as they are questioning him right now. I feel that we need to get to the bottom of all these very difficult issues. But Uranium One with Russia, with owning 20% of our uranium, that's extremely concerning and should concern any American that's listening to the broadcast today. The Attorney General directed senior federal prosecutors to evaluate certain issues raised in many of the letters that they've sent him. Assistant Attorney General Stephen Boyd wrote Monday, Republicans on the committee are also expected to press Sessions on perceived polarization of the FBI during the probe into Hillary Clinton's private email server. Clinton was eventually cleared by the former FBI director, James Comey, as you folks know, but new information has raised questions about Comey's decision-making process. It is unclear what Sessions can directly do regarding appointment of special counsel. At his confirmation hearings before the Senate Judiciary Committee in January, the former senator seemingly recused himself. So here we are asking for an investigation. And, folks, we're going to hopefully see something positive come out of this that may make our government a little bit more accountable to the American people. We need answers. We deserve answers. And for us to be able to trust government, I think it's at an all-time low for people that look to Washington, and draining the swamp, this is all part of it. And what a hell of a way to go. James Comey out of that position of the FBI. Terrible way to leave Washington, don't you think? He was a Boy Scout. Everybody knows that he allowed Hillary Clinton jail time because that's exactly what she could have gotten very, very easily, and from his own testimony. And the uranium one is one of the other deals, and so many other unanswered questions about Clinton's involvement, Camp as Secretary of State Clinton. So many different questions have arisen, and the Justice Department did not confirm the breadth of Sessions' recusal and what that all means, but they're bringing up all of these past things and current things and trying to put all this together to push his buttons. But he asked for the investigations. So, again, folks, pray for our Attorney General and pray that this investigation actually does bring up all the lies and all the lies that have been swept under the carpet by the FBI, possibly the CIA, the Justice Department, and hopefully we can get a cleaning of the house so this stuff doesn't happen again, because this is very, very disturbing, obviously. Very, very troublesome. And I'm not very happy about it, and I know that most people listening to the broadcast can't be too happy about it either. So, anyways, this continues on as we speak. Attorney General Sessions questioned on Trump dossier. That's a question right now. Fusion GPS, that's going to be brought up. Of course, Democrats took over opposition research efforts against Trump. The Clinton campaign initially denied any connection to Fusion GPS, but now we find out that the Dems actually knew about all of this and a lot more because now they're being questioned. So there's all these unanswered questions, and thus, hopefully, we get to a little to the bottom of all of this. Here is a little of Jeff Sessions a little bit earlier when they started the testimony. Here's this from this morning. Here we go, Jeff Sessions.
In short, it is our mission to restore the American people's confidence in the Department of Justice by defending the rule of law and enforcing the laws as you have passed them. And it is a mission we are honored to undertake. In response to letters from this committee and others, I've directed senior federal prosecutors to make recommendations as to whether any matters not currently under investigation should be open, whether any matters currently under investigation require further resources, and whether any matters under consideration may merit the appointment of a special counsel. And as you are aware, the Department's Inspector General has an active review of allegations that FBI policies and procedures were not followed last year in a number of matters that you have addressed. And, Mr. Chairman, the letter was addressed to you because it was a response to your letter, and that's how it was sent. And we will make such decisions without regard, hear me, without regard to politics, ideology, or bias. As many of you know, the Department has a long-standing policy not to confirm or deny the existence of investigations. This policy can be frustrating, I understand. especially when there's great public interest about a matter. But it enhances justice when we act under the law with professionalism and discipline. This policy necessarily precludes any discussion on cases I may be recused from, because to do so would confirm the existence of underlying investigations. To the extent a matter comes to the attention of my office that may warrant consideration of recusal, I review the issue, consult with the appropriate department ethics officials, and make my decision as I promised the Senate committee when I was confirmed. Lastly, I would like to address the false charges made about my previous testimony. My answers have not changed. I've always told the truth, and I have answered every question as I understood them to the best of my recollection, as I will continue to do today. I would like to address recent news reports regarding meetings during the campaign attended by George Papadopoulos and Carter Page, among others. Frankly, I had no recollection of this meeting until I saw these news reports. I do now recall that the March 2016 meeting at the Trump Hotel that Mr. Papadopoulos attended, but I have no clear recollection of the details of what he said at that meeting. After reading his account, and to the best of my recollection, I believe that I wanted to make clear to him that he was not authorized to represent the campaign with the Russian government or any other foreign government for that matter. But I did not recall this event, which occurred 18 months before my testimony of a few weeks ago. And I would gladly have reported it had I remembered it, because I pushed back against his suggestion that I thought may have been improper. As for Mr. Page, while I do not challenge his recollection, I have no memory of his presence at a dinner at the Capitol Hill Club or any passing conversation he may have had with me as he left the dinner. All you have been in campaigns, let me just suggest, but most of you have not participated in a presidential campaign, and none of you had a part in the Trump campaign. And it was a brilliant campaign, I think, in many ways, but it was a form of chaos every day from day one. We traveled sometimes to several places in one day. Sleep was in short supply, and I was still a full-time senator with a very full schedule. During this year, I've spent close to 20 hours testifying before Congress. Before today, I have been asked to remember details from a year ago, such as who I saw on what day, in what meeting, and who said what to when. In all of my testimony, I can only do my best to answer your questions as I understand them and to the best of my memory. But I will not accept and reject accusations that I have ever lied. That is a lie. Let me be clear. I have at all times conducted myself honorably and in a manner consistent with the high standards and responsibilities of the office of Attorney General, which I revere. I spent 15 years in that department. I love that department. I honor that department and will do my dead level best to be worthy of your Attorney General. So as I said before, my story has never changed. I've always told the truth, and I've answered every question to the best of my recollection, and I will continue to do so today. With that, Mr. Chairman, I'm honored to take your questions.
Well, thank you, General Sessions. We'll now proceed under the 5-minute rule with questions, and I'll begin by recognizing myself. Under your leadership, the prosecution of firearms offenses have increased 23%.
All right, Jeff Sessions being grilled, but I tell you, I wanted to hear from Jeff Sessions himself, and there sounds like a man of integrity. That's the Attorney General. That's the kind of Attorney General that you want in that position. And did you hear that he may have sounded a little annoyed, a little perturbed? I love that word. It's been frustrating because there's those that have not done their job before. Loretta Lynch was horrible. Loretta Lynch and Barack Obama's Justice Department. There was